Hey everybody, I'm John and this is Blind Whiskey Reviews. Hey everybody, and thank you so much for joining me today here on Blind Whiskey Reviews, the most honest reviews on YouTube. If you haven't already, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below so that way you'll know every time I put out a new review. Today we're reviewing Buffalo Trace, and I'm super excited to do this one for you. And this whiskey in particular, along with other Buffalo Trace products, kind of brings me to the topic of distribution and pricing. And I want to talk about that for a second because this one and some of their other products that the Buffalo Trace Distillery makes, like the Weller line, is another good example. That distribution is really strange. Like, I'm in California, and here in California, Weller is almost unheard of. You can't find the stuff anywhere, and if you do find it, it's incredibly expensive. However, another product made by the same distillery with this Buffalo Trace bourbon, I can find this everywhere. I can get it for 20 bucks, and other places in the country, they can't, maybe I think Kentucky has a hard time getting Buffalo Trace or getting the Sazerac Rye, which is really strange because I can get both of those items all over the place. They're here everywhere and they're pretty inexpensive. So, how do you feel about distribution? What do you think makes the problem with the system that we have in place right now? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on that. You can leave them in the comments down below. But why is it that I can get this whiskey and I can't get Weller? And in a state like Texas, Weller is everywhere. It's just a strange beast that the spirits distribution world is, and I don't really understand it. So if you know more about it, I'd love to hear about it. Leave me a comment, send me an email, and maybe we can try to figure some of that out. But without further ado, let's get into that review. All right, let's get into the whiskey. First, we'll start with the color. Get a nice dark golden color. Move on to the nose. Very fruity nose. Apple, pear. It's almost a berry-like character in there. Maybe like a raspberry. Stuff in some towards the back of the smelling it here. There's a little bit more like caramel, brown sugar, touch of vanilla. I'm not picking up any kind of woody characters. It's maybe even almost like a hint of like citrus in there. It smells light, fruity, refreshing. Can't wait to get into it. Cheers. Interesting. The palate is very different than the nose. Up front I got some almost like a big punch of like a cinnamon character, a spicy quality. Not like a rye spice necessarily, but now lingering in the mouth after, much more similar to the nose. Very fruity, a very strong berry character, caramel. Not much burn on the mouth. Touch of heat, not a ton. Lingers a little bit. The kind of big, bold flavor kind of dies down relatively quick, but you're still left with some lingering characters. Like I said, that berry flavor, the fruity notes kind of hang back and sit with you for a bit. Definite berry though. Proof-wise, I'm going to say, I don't think it's 80. I think it's a little up higher than that. Maybe we're like in the 85 to 90 range. A little bit more like the caramel notes on the nose now. Let me get one more taste. A little more of the same. I'm picking up maybe just the slightest touch of like a woody oak character on the back. Not very much. I would say the burn is a little, not harsh, I mean harsh is a tough word, but it's a little sharp on the tongue. Not a lot of woody character, so I'm guessing on the age we're a bit lower. Maybe like in that 6-year range or so. I'll add a touch of water just to do it, but I'm sticking with that 85, 90 proof range on the proof here. Water didn't change anything on the nose, really. Nah, definitely dulled it down on the palate. Brought the proof down a little bit too low. Didn't do anything for the flavors, didn't bring anything else out. Whatever this is, I wouldn't be adding water to it. I dig the nose though. As far as a rating, it's good. It's not super complex, and I think probably part of that has to do with the fact that it's a little bit lower proof whiskey, I'm guessing. I do like the flavors that are there, and I find that berry character pretty intriguing. And the other fruits characters that are involved there, but it's kind of one-sided in that sense. It's very fruity. It doesn't have a lot of layers of complexity to it. It kind of brings a lot of fruit characters, but then other than that, a little bit of caramel, a little bit of brown sugar, the slightest hint of like an oak character, but all that's really playing a background to the berry and those sweeter fruit notes. I think it's good, and I want to give it, I feel like I've been giving out a lot of like 80s lately, and it's right in that ballpark. I'm going to say it's an 80, which is good. Let's see what it is. It is Buffalo Trace Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Cool. So let me go grab that bottle and we will talk about it a little bit more. All right, we just finished the review of Buffalo Trace. It's a Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey at 45% ABV, 90 proof. This is obviously made by the Buffalo Trace Distillery. It's distilled, aged, and bottled by Buffalo Trace Distillery in Franklin County, Kentucky. So like we talked about at the beginning of the video, the Buffalo Trace distribution deal, at least in California, is kind of strange. There's a lot of their products I can get all the time. Some of them I can never get, so that's a strange one. As for the whiskey, I thought it was really good. And I've had Buffalo Trace many times over the years. And it's always been a very solid, good, drinkable whiskey. And at least out for me, it's inexpensive. So as a value, this is 20 bucks. I can get it 20 bucks anywhere, anytime, any day. So it's a great value. The availability is awesome, and it's just a really good product. I like drinking it. It's good drinking neat. It's good for mixing. The price doesn't make it something that you don't want to use for mixing too much, like with cocktails and whatnot, because it's pretty inexpensive. So I think it's a great product, a great price. Like I put in the review, I think I gave it an 80. And so is it the best whiskey in the world? No, but it's really good. And I think, as I recall, this product is, I'd have to look it up or read this deal on the back of the bottle here, but I feel like this is somewhere about 8 years old is what they usually go for. It doesn't have an age statement. So if you like Buffalo Trace or any of the other Buffalo Trace products, let me know what your favorite is down below. Let me know what you think of this guy and if you can get it. I'd love to hear where about the country. Let me know what part of the country you're in and if you can find Buffalo Trace and the pricing. I'm just curious, like I said, because it's an interesting thing with the distribution of these products. So let me know. You can follow me on Instagram at blind_reviews. You can send me an email at blindwhiskeyreviews, that's whiskey with an E, at gmail.com. And until next time, cheers.